So, I just wanted to catch up on what's been going on in the case of little Evelyn Boswell. If you're looking for some background, feel free to check out some of my other videos. For now, though, we're going to look at just how the vehicle was found. Grandma and her boyfriend are in it. Sadly, still no sign of missing Evelyn. And we'll take a look at the interview Grandpa did where he tells everyone he was the one who reported Evelyn missing. We'll also talk about some of the rumors and how this family comes across, only because it's just hard not to notice that almost everyone involved seems to have at least one mugshot. So, police issued an Amber Alert for Evelyn and included a vehicle of interest. The vehicle was found shortly after the alert and the drivers were arrested. The passenger was Angela Boswell, who is Megan's mom, making her Evelyn's grandma. The other person is William McCloud, who is the grandma's boyfriend. The sheriff's office released a statement about all of this, and I thought it gives us a little insight into this whole mess. So, in the statement, the sheriff's office explains that the BMW was reported stolen by the owner. I just want to mention here that it looks like the owner is Hunter Wood, Megan's ex-boyfriend, the Chicken Shack owner. I'm not 100% sure about that, to be fact. If anyone has any solid information about that, feel free to share it in the comments. Okay, so after being reported stolen, it was then entered into the NCIS and very shortly afterwards spotted by a Wilkes County detective in Trap Hill, North Carolina. William McCloud was the driver and Angela Boswell was the only passenger. Both were arrested and held in the Wilkes County Jail. The statement goes on to tell us that Megan was purchasing the vehicle from the owner for her mom, Angela. Payment was supposed to be made and the title and registration changed to reflect that new owner, but no purchase agreement was ever completed and no money was ever exchanged. Neither Megan or her mom followed up on any of that, and the owner was said to be unable to make contact with either person to return the vehicle. So, as a result of all of this, this guy William and Grandma Angela were charged of over $2,500 in theft and now being grilled about the disappearance of Evelyn. Angela is also being held on a violation of probation warrant for theft. Okay, so this case is just nuts. I'm sure most of you out there have seen Megan's interview. Personally, I have mixed feelings about it. When I saw the chopped up version, the one that they showed on the news, I thought she looked guilty as hell. After I watched the full interview, I actually thought she might be telling the truth about a few things. Only because you can see her face get red, and just reading her body language, I think she's getting, genuinely emotional. I mean, that could be for so many reasons, but I don't know. My point is, I just think that watching that full interview is definitely worth your time if you're following the case. That's just my opinion. Another interesting development is the interview that Megan's father gave reporters. I think the young guy next to him is Megan's brother, but he really didn't share anything. Anyhow, Tommy Boswell Sr. explains that the last time he saw his granddaughter was Thanksgiving and that he was the one to call authorities when he felt like there was a problem. Well, we'll just go ahead and watch that now.
What do you guys think happened? Can you comment on that?
I don't know what happened, but I'm the one called DCS and got this started.
And why did you call DCS?
Because my granddaughter, she never did come back, and I just want to know what happened to her.
When was the last time you had seen her?
Thanksgiving, up to his house. We all had Thanksgiving dinner.
So you hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
I know some reports say that it was like early December, so yours was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
Had you been in communication with them at all? Like, I know you hadn't seen her, but what about talking?
No, I hadn't talked to her nothing. I stayed busy, and I talked to my ex-wife, and I told her, I said, if Evelyn don't come home, I said, I'm going to do something about it. And she said, you better not do that. You're going to regret this.
Yeah, so obviously I think it's really important to notice how Evelyn's grandfather, how he mentions when he told his ex-wife, who would be Angela, right, that he was going to report this, she told him he would regret that. Maybe she just doesn't like cops in her business, but that's her granddaughter, and she's threatening him when he tells her he's reporting her missing. I'm just saying, I don't know, make of it what you will. In all fairness, you can say that this is only one side of the story, But I don't think he'd lie to reporters about being the one to report the granddaughter to be missing, and I think that is interesting. One thing that has really jumped out to me throughout all of this is during the press conference, the sheriff's office makes it really clear that they just don't trust the information that Magen is giving them. Now, I'm not saying that means she definitely hurt the baby, although if she did, I'd say it looks like she's attempting to frame her mom and her mom's boyfriend. But she could also be a compulsive liar and just can't ever tell the truth straight, or she's trying to cover her tracks for something else. I guess it's just my personal opinion that I don't think she's the only one with knowledge on where the baby is. I could be totally wrong on that. I realize, whatever the case is, it's obvious that there's so many moving parts that people can be easily misled. So remember that. You know, the truth is we just don't know the truth yet. There is a lot more being talked about online, and I need to encourage everyone out there to take everything they hear with a grain of salt. There are false sightings of Evelyn at McDonald's, reports of search near Grandma's house with helicopters, searchlights, and 20 cop cars, reports of detectives digging in the woods near Grandpa's house, all kinds of screenshots from Magen that we have no way of knowing if they're real or faked. All of that can take everyone on a goose chase so quickly. Now, sometimes people are well meaning and just mistaken, but believe me, there are sick or just attention seeking people who will do this because they enjoy it. They'll do it intentionally. So don't be one of those suckers. Be smart, guys. Don't be a puppet. So often at that point, it can really start becoming about something else other than finding Evelyn. So just consider that as this all moves forward, and try and keep an open mind and remain rational. That's just my little piece of advice. Like I mentioned earlier, this whole family seems to have been arrested at some time and point. Some of the charges are violent, some are kind of trivial. In reality, though, none of that means they have something to do with Evelyn's disappearance. It's all just so messy, we don't know. I understand that people are going to grasp at straws and speculate. That's totally normal. Uh, to put it in perspective, when this case broke, so many people were nearly convinced that Grandpa had something to do with this case because of his previous attempted murder charge. After he does his interview, he becomes the only person in the family looking out for the little girl. It's just really hard to judge someone's character when you've never met them, you don't know their baseline. So considering all of that, I think it's smart to kind of stay fact-based. This little baby girl, keep her in the front of your mind, guys. It's so hard to think about her being out there somewhere and not found. In my gut, I think this could end up having something to do with drugs and or money. In a way, that would be a good thing because it makes the odds that she's alive just a little bit higher. Now, maybe I'm trying to just kind of cling to the idea that this situation can have somewhat of a happy ending. 2 months is a long time, though. I just hope with all of my heart that she's found somewhere soon and that she's safe and sound. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thank you all so much for watching.